This world is a sick world. This world is sick. What is it? What is it? What happened? So you know you have this. And then you're laughing. Yo, there's people that's just, no. Honestly, it makes the people that I know seem so great. You knew you had this and you did this to her and you're laughing? Like, what the? Ooh. Hi guys, welcome to my life, my world, my everything. Welcome to Tasha Reacts. Welcome to Tasha Reacts. I hope you're doing well, be doing good in the hood. We are here to react to another video. If you guys don't know, my name is Tasha. I have another channel called Tachassociety where I do different things. You can check out that channel if you want. Alright, I usually leave the people's information here or here in the beginning of the video or sometimes in the end. If the person comes up to me and say, hey girl, I don't want you sharing my video, I will take it down because I don't care. Alright? Okay.
So, hi my crowns and tiaras. This is going to be me telling my story. Sorry. hold on. Okay. Take two. Hi my crowns and tiaras. So this is going to be me telling my story on how I contracted HIV. Okay, so I'm just going to say before I get started, I got these nails from my nail tech. I'll have her information in the comments and also where the lashes in the onesie is from. So I'm also going to be using a green screen to give y'all various locations and things that I do remember about everything. So let's get down to it. Okay, so it was morning time. I had just left a friend's house and I was at a gas station and I had this app called Jag, and I'm actually going to show y'all that app. One second. Alright, and this is the app, this is the logo, just to let you guys know, but this is the app called Jag. So I ended up meeting that guy on Jag, and first it was just all about and excuse me if I'm sounding a little chattery, it's really cold in here, but I don't want my laces wet off. But I ended up meeting him on Jag, and he ended up messaging me, and he didn't have a ride to go cash his check. So I had a car, and he basically was letting me know that I'll give you some money if you come over here to help me cash my check. And you know what? I was like, I didn't really mind like going over there. So I ended up going over there after leaving the gas station, and I ended up meeting him at this hotel, which is the Days Inn in Garner, North Carolina, and I will be showing y'all that as well. So one second. And this Days Inn happens to be the location where everything happened. So I ended up meeting this guy at the hotel, and when I went upstairs, he met me downstairs at first, kind of conversated for a little bit, and then we went upstairs to a room where it ended up being two more people in there. It was a guy and it was a girl. It was this real heavy set kind of buff guy that later on in the story you will find out he's more so the bodyguard, and it's also this girl who is a escort. So when I get,
You know, I don't know. Maybe I've been in the game like back in the days, maybe because I'm not really dating. But I don't understand how you're taking me. Well, maybe, you know, you meet somebody on these dating apps. I don't know how this works. But you take me to a hotel and then there's someone else in there. Like, why is there someone here? I don't understand that. Like,
so when I get in there, they basically kind of like introduced me to everyone. Well, he introduced me to everyone, and after that we kind of sat down and started talking about what they did, and you kind of know what people do in hotels. Yeah, once we got down to the TT. So hi you guys. So y'all wanted a part two. So here's your part two. So where we left off in the story, I was actually in the hotel and then I ended up finding out it was two people. So I walk in the room and this is where the tea gets spilled. So I end up finding out the girl, she is an escort. The heavyset guy, he is a bodyguard. And the guy that I am actually supposed to be taking the check, taking to cash the check, is actually an escort as well. So I'm gonna show y'all this sign just to, see if you guys know about it. But before I show y'all this sign, I just wanted to let you guys know this was the way that they would sign up to, do their escorting and do their business and stuff. And what really kind of gravitated it to me, and knowing that I was not a person that really had sex with just anybody, I was very picky. But the thing is that the girl ended up telling me a story one time that she ended up getting $60 off of like a pair of panties, off of dirty panties on top of that. So I was like, okay, well, shoot, let me see what it's about. Since you got the dirty panties here, you can take them. You know what I'm saying? But let me show y'all this. Okay, so for y'all that don't know what this sign is, this is Craigslist. So Craigslist was the way that they would make their money. They would make their ads to meet up with these people, to talk to these people, or whatever the case may be. Whatever went down, and that was their business. Right? Yeah. So as we were in the room,
I'm a little confused. Is she an escort too? Like, cause she said she met the dude on the on the whatever dating app thing. So she is she like, is this her job too? Because baby, I don't judge nobody. Who am I to judge? But I'm just saying, like, is she an escort too? Like, because she's talking about cashing a check. Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something.
It starts to get, a little late, and, he starts to tell me that he's not going to be able to cash his check, right? During this time where they're kind of explaining to me, like, what the Craigslist thing is, I'm sitting on his lap. And come to find out, him and that other girl, the other escort, ended up sleeping together and they had relations back in the day. So I'm not quite sure if that's where the steam started to blow from. But one minute we were talking about Craigslist, setting stuff up. Next minute, they're at each other's throat, literally arguing, fussing. She ended up getting the room in her name, even though that he paid for it. So he ended up having to tell me, just come with me and I'll pay for the room. And I'm going to show y'all the lobby. So this is the lobby where we ended up having to go down there to, get another room due to the fact of him and her getting...
Baby, she's showing you everything. She's showing you step by step. Baby, she making you get the visuals. She ain't playing.
And we ended up actually getting a room on the other side of the building. And I will be trying to find that video for you guys, because I actually want to show you guys that side of the building where I first entered and then where I stayed that night. Yes, I stayed the night. All right, so we left off at me spending the night. So after we went down...
When usually dudes get you a hotel. Like me, I don't fall for that. Like, I feel like every dude's like, oh, I'm having a hotel party. Oh, okay, I'm not going. I'm not. Oh, hey, I rented out a hotel for us. Oh, you shouldn't rent it because I'm not coming. I'm not coming to no hotel. I feel like that's how guys try to get you. Like, they always trying to get this hotel thing. No, I'm not doing no hotel. First of all, I'm grown, okay? I don't got time to be going to a hotel. If I'm not messing with you, you're not taking me to a hotel and I'm meeting other people. But I don't know what her story is behind, like, if this is her job or is she, I'm kind of a little confused. So I'm trying to understand it. But as soon as you hear hotel, I feel like you should really kind of, isn't that like, usually when people get you a hotel and they're fighting, and he's like, let's go to another room. I'm guessing you should already know what's going down, but maybe, I don't know, okay? I'm different.
Upstairs, got a new room. We ended up spending the night on the other side of the building. So I did not end up taking him to cash his check that day because it was too late. And when I ended up staying with him that night, yes, we did end up having intercourse. And from what I remember, we ended up having intercourse twice. One with a condom, one without a condom. And from that night, we had like our little conversations and stuff along the lines of that. And this is a monthly span of what I'm kind of giving you guys right now. The first monthly span of how everything went. So after this is all done and stuff, you know, it's some days that go on and I'm actually experiencing what it's like being a escort after they had already basically gave me the rundown of
Oh, okay, so she is an escort. Okay, because I didn't understand what was going on.
this and that and what they do and the body.
Okay, I'm asking a question and I'm like really not trying to be ignorant, okay? I thought escorts just escort you. I didn't know y'all did bang bang chicken bang bang too? Isn't that like a prostitute? Like, is that different? Like, I'm really trying to be since I really don't know. I don't know. So I'm asking for real.
Guard was actually on the other side of the building still with that girl, which he ended up coming over and staying with us. So when I was basically in the hotel, I did, you know, a couple of people. It was one person in particular that I did for him to actually stay in the hotel. And I can't remember how much it was. I don't even want to say it was $60 that I did it for, but it might have been. So I used protection with this guy. It was a very old, fat Mexican man. Literally, his thing was like probably like the size of my pinky. I really didn't feel nothing. So it's just like I did that for him. And these are as the days are going by. I'm actually doing like a little work from here and there because like I said, I'm a very picky girl. I'm not just in the game to do anybody, nor did I have to do this. So, you know, as the days go on and, you know, we're just living our life, we end up getting to the point where he has to go. He goes on this little vacay with a friend that comes and picks him up at this hotel, knowingly knowing the bodyguard is still there. He ends up later down the line getting his friends to pick him up. And in between him getting his friends to pick him up in this monthly stand, we ended up having to go pick up his mother. His mother comes into the picture because as we're down there and as I'm down at the hotel, he ends up getting this call that his mother is being kicked out by his sister. That's where she comes into place. And then when we ended up having to go over there, it was an elderly lady who stuff was outside in the rain.
Wait. So, well, I ain't gonna lie, because some mothers are horrible. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, that's your mother, because some mothers are not good. Okay. So I don't know what the mama did to the lady. I wouldn't kick my mama out the rain. Maybe I would leave the house for her. Or I would call my brother, come get your mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't kick my mama's stuff out. That's your mama. Regardless how bad or good she is. And I know there's some bad mamas. I get it. But I ain't gonna be kicking you out the rain, sis. Baby, karma comes back around. That's your mama. Even if she's bad or not. She had you. You know what I'm saying?
So, like I said, so as I left off in part 3, we ended up having to go pick up his elderly mother. His elderly mother ended up being kicked out by his sister. And this was actually before he ended up leaving, going on his little vacay with his friend. So, as we're picking up his mother, it's raining. One thing about it, it was real sad because this lady was a very older lady, and it seemed like they were so non-caring. I don't know what happened while she was getting kicked out, but I knew that she had got kicked out and all her stuff was outside. We had to do at least 2 to 3 trips. We ended up getting her into a hotel room, and I'm not quite sure if she stayed with us the first night or she ended up getting her hotel room that next day. I think we were able to get her into the room across from us because I do remember her staying there, but I really don't never remember her actually staying physically with us. So we ended up getting this room for her. And after he gets back from this vacay that he took with his friends, these days that I had been chilling with him and stuff, he had been acting normal. It wasn't no signs of drug use, anything along the lines of that. But at the time, just to let y'all know, I was safe because I was actually staying with the bodyguard. Because I don't want y'all to forget, the bodyguard was still there after he went on his little vacay. So, the bodyguard was basically looking after me, but we slept in the same bed. And the bodyguard was trying to touch me and have intercourse with me. You get what I'm saying? And I wasn't going for that. I just had, you know, relations with your cousin, supposedly. And now you want to... No, I'm not getting down like that. I'm sorry. I guess that's what y'all did with old girl, but that's not me. So I ended up basically rejecting him. And then we get to the day where we left off. So he ends up coming back from his vacay. Remember, I said I didn't really see no signs of drug use or anything. But when I tell you, I ended up going into his mother's room where he was. He didn't even come into our room that morning. He ended up going to his mother's room. And when I tell you, I went over there and he was so strung out. He was literally saying that it was some guys downstairs that I didn't know, but he thought I was setting him up. He thought I was setting him up. He would be cussing at his mom. He had an attitude, like, and he was off something. Basically, like, he thought I knew. He was accusing me of knowing everybody before I even got there. The bodyguard, the girl, everything. So this is part 5, and before we even get started, apparently I'm gonna have to keep touching my screen because it wants to keep blacking out on me. But let's go ahead and start off where we left off. So basically, I ended up going to his mother's room because, remind you, he did not come back to our room. When I went to his room, he was strung out on drugs. And by his room, I meant his mother's room. So don't be trying to be like, oh, what, but I'm in his mother's room. So when I went in there, he basically was trying to accuse me of knowing these people. I did not know any of these people, and these people were downstairs, and I'm going to show you guys this area. But he also accused me of knowing the girl and the bodyguard. Even before I got there, I never even met none of these people. Never even met none of these people. I then met the bodyguard and the girl when I first met him. But those people downstairs, I had no clue about. So I knew that he was strung out on some drugs. Fast forward to later that night, he ended up basically calming down, stopped being so ignorant, and we ended up getting some Chinese food from what I remember. We also ended up having sex once again, and we did not use a condom. So basically, a couple of days go by after, you know, this little finasco. A couple of days go by, and we know that we cannot afford to stay into hotels. He's not making it like that. He knows I'm not going to just be doing anybody. So his plan was to find this girl that he knew of, and I guess they knew of each other, grew up with each other. I'm not quite sure on how they knew each other. I'm sure he's told me, but that was so long ago. And we ended up finding the girl, and her name is Shine. So let me show y'all where he thought these people were, and then I'm going to show y'all where we ended up finding Shine. So this is basically where he thought these guys were that I knew. And this is where his mother stayed, right here. And we kind of stayed diagonal from her. But yeah, so we knew we...
Wait, do they still live there? I just want to make sure. I know you're showing all these details, but do he still be staying there? So I just want to make sure, child. Because, you know, she giving all the location. Like, this is where I was at. This is where his mom was staying. This is where my sister was staying. Like, maybe. And he don't have a house, so why did he bring his mom to the hotel? He don't have a place to live? I'm just asking. Alright.
Weren't going to be able to keep these two rooms up. That's why he brought up Shine. All right, you guys. So this is part 6. So basically, we left off where we ended up finding Shine, and Shine ended up basically, excuse the song, but Shine ended up basically being on this deserted road, and this road is what I'm actually gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of this road. So 1 second. Alright, so this is the road we basically ended up finding her on. So when we ended up finding her on this road, we ended up asking her, would she basically like to come with us? You know, it'll be a place to stay. She'll be able to work. You know, she'll be around us and everything along the lines of that. So, you know, she'll be comfortable. And, you know, I didn't know that he was going to be so rude to her, which you guys will find out later on in the story.
Not the person in the house phone having a whole conversation and she just keep going. She just blocking it out and keep going. Maybe I would be like, hold on, I'll be back. Like, she just kept the conversation going.
But he was very rude to this girl that basically did a lot for us. So not only did she do a lot for us, but she did a lot for his mom. So anyways, let's go ahead and start back off where we ended up finding Shine. Shine ends up coming with us. And she gets back to the hotel, you know, basically we end up talking to her, and later on the days go by and we end up having to go to another spot, which we ended up deciding to go to the Eco Lounge, which was right down the road from Days Inn. So this was actually the side that we ended up staying on when we ended up going to the Eco Lounge. Remind you, you know, we had picked up Shine. You know, she done talk, we done mingled and everything. You know, these days have gone by and it's time to now move. And if it hadn't been days, you know, definitely a couple of days, meaning like 1 or 2 in my opinion. But we ended up finding her and then ended up going here. And this is the side that we ended up staying on. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all the reason why this hotel is important. So, you know, Shine was with us and she ended up getting this good play. And this was a hotel. And during this one particular play, he was not too happy about. But when I tell you this guy was giving money, he was a firefighter, man. He was giving her $500 to get down and busy. And I was in the room because, you know, that's just what she felt more comfortable with. We were no longer with the bodyguard. We were no longer with him. It was just me, her, the mother, and him, which I even failed to mention. But that's the crazy part. You know, she was more so comfortable with me being in there. He was so mad. And he kept interrupting us as the time went by. Because, you know, it was taking a while. But he... Okay, but yes, like I was saying, so this is part 7, but back to what I was saying. So basically, but he was giving some good money. So he was upset once again because he was not the Don Dottie. He was not the person that was getting the money. So therefore, you know, whoever is getting the money, baby, we're in control of that. Baby, you're not our pimp or anything. But
that's what I thought. I thought he was the pimp because I'm confused. This story is very confusing because she met the guy, he introduced her to the game. Like, so what is the purpose of this guy, though? He has a bodyguard, but he's not y'all pimp. I'm confused.
Basically, what happened was he kept coming to the door, he kept knocking, he kept interrupting, and the bodyguard guy would get upset. He would get irritated. And this is the area that him and his mother was waiting at outside. So when he would knock on the door, I ended up having to go out there due to the firefighter guy saying, like, if you go out there, I'll give you some money, da-da-da-da. I'm not sure if he had already told me it was going to be that much or whatever the case may be, but he ended up giving me some money to basically get him away from the door. Because he kept interrupting the whole entire play, which was childish. But yeah, that's where they basically were sitting at when all this was going on. So I ended up getting $100. Did not have to do anything with this man. I got $100 to keep this guy.
I don't know. I'm not gonna judge because I'm not gonna say what I have to say because I don't get it, because it's like, I don't know, because the money ain't money. The money ain't money, but you know, it's different times. But I don't know.
Away from that door. Smooth 100. Okay? You know, I feel like I was doing my thing. I ain't gonna lie. But, so, y'all also have to remember, these are some days that went by, but that was a night where we kind of ended up getting into it due to the fact of how long it was taking after the firefighter guy had finally left. You know, they were able to enter the room, but it was a couple of plays that ended up going down. And, you know, we had stayed there a couple of days, but we weren't there as long as we were at day's end from what I remember. And when we went to this other hotel, I can't remember Diamond actually being with us. And Diamond is Shine. But I can't remember.
I feel like you make more money with stripping. No? Well, I haven't stripped, but I'm just saying. I feel like, because y'all kind of low-key selling cat, right? So y'all selling cat and y'all making 500, 100. Because she said that was a cool good night. So that good night, that 500, I mean, this is not consistent. Like, how much do you usually charge? I'm really sincerely asking, because I said, who am I to judge? But you make your money how you want to make your money. It's your life, it ain't mine. Who am I to judge? But how much is a normal night for you guys? You know what I'm saying? I know you're new to the game, but like,
Shine being with us. Like, I felt like, from my memory, she ended up, you know, gradually going her separate ways after some days had passed by, and me, him, and his mother ended up staying at one of these hotels. One second. I just popped off one of my nails. Anyways, so we ended up staying at one of these hotels right here, and we were in one of these little rooms over here, but I can't remember her actually being with us, which was so crazy. But the thing about it was, if she was there, we didn't do anything here that's important at all. So it was just like we stayed there from what I remember. Nothing happened. I just met a couple of more people that he knew. So. So, hi everyone, this is part 9, and I do apologize for all the parts. I know it gets tiring seeing all the parts, but I do not have the 10-minute option yet. Make sure that you go look it up for yourself, that everyone does not have that available right now. Also, let's go ahead and get back to the story, and I'll also let y'all know where I got these lashes from. Just look in the comments, and shout out to my baby Jewel by Mai. Um, anyway, so we left off at this place. All right, so we were here last time that we were talking. So that's my apologies. I was a little confused if Shine was still with us or if she had left. But let's just say that this part right here was not really important, but I do remember meeting people there, people that he knew, and I was not there by myself. So that's what we're going to say about this part. I apologize that I probably mixed it up, but that's what happens in the, you know, span of 2 months of staying with someone. So we ended up just meeting people here, and Shine had to be back at the hotel. Like, cause Shine never really went out with us like that in the first place. So after the incident with the fighter fire guy, we ended up moving to another location, and I will show y'all that other location. I believe it's called American Express, but you guys will see it. So I wasn't able to really get to the back of it on Google Maps or whatever the case may be. I wasn't really able to see and get to the back of the buildings and stuff along the lines of that. But I also do remember that room that we stayed in there because we were actually in a corner room. So, and it was at the far end of it. So this is when the altercation had happened. Shine ended up paying for a room. Remind you, this whole time that we've been just kind of going here and there, that we've been with Shine, the mother, and him. So we end up getting to the location. She pays for it, and we end up checking in. Once we check in, you know, everything is going good so far, so good. And I done did videos, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And then we get into a altercation. This altercation leads us to having to leave. because we weren't going to stay there and take it. He was already treating her like crap and been treating the mother like crap for the past 2 months that I had been there, and talking to them like they were just dogs. So then we ended up leaving, going to another motel, just me and Shine. We did not receive that money back because him or his mother did not want to give us the money back, nor did they probably have it. So we ended up leaving here due to the fact of us getting into the altercation, and they did not want to give us the money back. They ended up keeping it, and we ended up having to stay at a Rugged Down Hotel. And that's the name of this hotel right now. But it was terrible. So my apologies. This is actually part 9. Okay, so basically we ended up, like I said, we had to end up going. And the only reason why we couldn't necessarily kick them out was because the mother ended up paying for the room. The mother ended up paying for the room with her license and everything like that. So due to the fact of Shine, being an escort, and I'm not saying every escort doesn't have their thing, but she didn't really have any luggage even when we met her. So she didn't have much. And so we ended up having to go down to this rugged motel. And I really remember.
What's crazy is the mother's going from hotel to hotel with them. Like, what's going on? Like, there's a lot going on. So she was living with the sister. The mom got kicked out. Now he's hotel hopping with the son. The son don't have a place. Like, they don't have. I know this is part of his business and his job, but he don't have a apartment. Nothing. A room. Okay.
Remember this motel very vividly, like the rooms itself. So it's been 4 years. I'm not sure if they did any construction, but this motel in itself looked very familiar, and that was where we stayed. We ended up staying at a rugged motel that was even similar to it, if not this motel. But it has been 4 years, construction goes on, but this is a update of 2022. So this is the motel that I remember. The rooms are very much similar to where we stayed, but we ended up staying there, and I ended up leaving the next day. When I was there and we ended up finally leaving them, I did end up getting messages from him basically telling me that he would come slash my tires and stuff. So, that night he never did. I ended up leaving. And, as I left, I went back home. I went back home. I was living a normal life, et cetera, et cetera. And he ended up.
Hold on. You have a home? What's going on? I'm so confused. I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? You went through all this hotel hopping. You couldn't come back. Like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow and do my job. Like, I don't know. This is very confusing.
Hitting me up due to the fact that us not really speaking like that, anymore. And he was very upset. But it was this one message in particular, and back to the Jack app, because that was the only way that he could get in contact with me. I don't think that he had my number at the time still. So he ended up hitting me up on Jack. And this is when he reveals everything. So basically, I'm no longer staying with Shine. Shine has went about her way. I have went about my way, and they have went about their way. The 2 months are now done. They are up. I am now living back at my house, and I am contacted by this man that is angry, that is, very evil. Little did I know. And let's get to the Jack messages. So as time went by, we ended up messaging each other on Jack, and it was this message by his gay mother. He was messaging his gay mother, and he ended up mentioning something about him having HIV, and maybe that's why people didn't like him. And I was like, so hi, you guys. This is part 10, and this is probably the last part. So I know you guys are excited. Anyways, so basically, let's start off from the Jack messages. I ended up getting this Jack message from him. And like I said, little did I know, he was a evil, angry, conniving man. This message ended up basically saying, I don't know if people, I don't know why people don't like me. Maybe it's because I'm HIV positive. Something along the lines of that. And he was speaking to his gay mother. He ended up sending me a screenshot of it. And as I was like, kind of, scratching my head, wondering, like, what is he talking about HIV positive for? Because he never told me. He never came out and told me that he was positive. There was never not one time during us having intercourse that he told me he was positive. It got to the point where we ended up getting into it. And I was like, I'll end up taking you to jail if I find out that you're the person who gave me HIV. If I end up going to this clinic and finding out that you're this person who gave it to me, and the reason why I said this person is because it was messages coming in like laughing. You're sick like me now. You're sick like Shine. Like, somebody meaning to do it purposely. You get what I'm saying? His goal was to ruin my life. And I was thinking it was all a bluff.
This world is a sick world. This world is sick. What is it? What is it? What happened? So you know you have this. And then you're laughing. Yo, there's people that's just, no. Honestly, it makes the people that I know seem so great. You knew you had this and you did this to her and you're laughing? Like, what the? Ooh. I'm saved now. Because if I wasn't, baby, like, sis, I would have rolled up with you. Like, what's up? What? That's a different level. That's a different level. And you're laughing. You're sick like me now.
Knowing that I didn't want to be with him. I never wanted a real relationship or anything. But it wasn't. He was telling the truth. The first month that I ended up, being free from them, like I was locked down. But, the first month of actually, living back at my house, I ended up going to the clinic after hearing about this. After he basically told me he gave it to me and was laughing about it and stuff. Even though I thought it was a joke. Um, so the first month I ended up going and it came back negative. They wanted me to wait 3 months prior to that first month and do basically a 9-month increment. And so one time get checked 3 months, other time get checked 3 months, another time get checked 3 months. And if I came back clean all those months, I'm good. But this one particular month, they wanted me to wait. I was like, no, I'm not gonna wait. I went back that second month and it came up. So I ended up getting a call. I ended up getting a job. I was working at Subway. I ended up getting a call. And I knew if I had got a call from the clinic that something came back. Something came back. And I was just thinking, like, this mother. So, hi, you guys. This is part 11, and hopefully, this is the end. But make sure you guys ask questions if you're curious about anything, and I will be answering some questions as well. So, basically, I ended up getting a call from work. Not, I'm gonna have to tap my phone again. But basically, I ended up getting a call from work, and I already knew if I had got a call that it was something. I ended up coming back positive. And me thinking everything was a joke. It was. It wasn't that I was sad or anything. I was more so angry because this guy was happy about giving it to me. So I was angry. I ended up having to meet with someone I call my guardian angel. His name was Demetrius. I ended up having to meet with him and basically let him know the partners that I had slept with and everything along the lines of that. This one person in particular had helped me out a lot. They even gave me the decision, which, I'm not sure if a lot of people get this decision, but to either tell people that I had been with, even if it was down to 2 years so forth. anybody I could remember, I would always try to make sure that I told him. But I ended up taking that choice and telling people, and I ended up contacting people and telling them that I was positive. I got good reactions, bad reactions, all of the above. And I ended up getting signed up to a hospital. And I will not get my hospital out, but yes, I have the best doctor. They ended up helping me get on my meds as soon as possible. Also, they helped me with my transition, and I'm greatly appreciated. But one thing about it, I did contact him again, and it took a minute to actually get in contact with him because he did end up going to jail. But it wasn't for my reason, it was for something else. And I ended up finding out through Shine that he had to be beating on his baby mother. Yes. So supposedly he had a baby mama or beating on some girl. I've always said baby mama because that's what I remember. But yes, beating on some girl and ended up having to go to jail. So after that, he ended up hitting me up. And, you know, my response was, you know I'm positive, right? He tried to act like, you know, no, you're not. Yes, I am. And you thought it was a, So this is part 12. So basically where we left off is...
You're better than me. I would never talk to him. He called me. Never. Baby, you're up till the day you die. Baby, you better... Why are you calling me, sir? Why are you calling me? Like...
He ended up contacting me after, you know, he ended up getting out of jail because I couldn't contact him due to the fact of him being in there. But he ended up contacting me and, you know, thinking everything was a joke and basically thinking that I was lying about having it. And it's just like, how are you going to think that I'm lying about having it and you know that you were the one that just told me that you gave it to me a couple of months ago? That didn't really make sense. So I had threatened him to let him know.
No, he was doing it on purpose. He was trying to play it off like, you lying, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just trying to find a way to talk to you, to make the conversation be conversation like, girl, you don't got it, blah, blah, blah. Like, what you talking about? How can you have it? Like, he's doing this mind game shit. It's a mind game.
I was going to be locking him up. I tried to do everything within my power to do what I could. I still even got the police report. And if you never did a warrant out for anyone's arrest, you have to know their actual location. Like the location that reside, like where they reside, that's on their license in order for you to take out papers on someone. And I was not able to get that. I wasn't able to get that in time. He ended up being free before anything, and that was the way that I was able to contact him. And when I went to the police station, you know, he was out. It was nothing. It was like I knew where he was. I even asked him, like, you know, I know where he is right now. Can y'all do anything about that? And it was just like they still just had to know where he stayed. And I tried to explain everything to them, and you know, it just didn't happen. But if you guys would like to see his face or see the guy, definitely let me know and make sure that you do join my live. I hope you guys did enjoy the story. I know it was a little long, but basically more of the story is that during those 2 months in that stand, he never let me know that he was HIV positive, and I ended up having to find out through a very hateful message, and where he laughed and he taunted me, and still to this day it is messages that come through every once in a while. He was on my lives when it first started happening, with me, you know, telling the world that he was the one who gave it to me. So I do have videos, I have pictures, I have tons of things like that, and also a thing where he said, you act like people just can't make mistakes. One thing about it, 2 things for sure. That's not a mistake that you make. So, until my next story time, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that y'all do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Buy my crowns with y'all.
Well, baby, I don't even know. And the dude had the nerve to say, you act like people can't make mistakes. What? How's that a mistake, sir? You did it on purpose. You ruined this whole girl's life. Like, her life will never be the same. No matter how positive she stays, this is something that will affect her forever. And then you're laughing about it, making jokes about it because you feel it's funny. Nah. I wish you nothing but the best, sis. I really do. I was a little confused with the story a little bit. I was a little confused, but baby, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope all goes well. I haven't checked out her channel. I think she probably showed the guy or whatever. But after I got the story time, I have a list of story times and I just clip it together and I have it and I react. So sometimes they do update certain things, so you can go check her out. I always leave the person's information down in the description bar. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.